Hi everyone, we are doing a series called the 4 Ws and 4 Ps. These are not standalone videos. I encourage you to go back and listen to some of the other videos, but first also the introduction that gives a good overview of everything. Today we want to look at specifically at the Ps, and that's how we grow spiritually when we're not on our knees and we're looking at people. And with that, I mean how we can grow in diversity in our relationships. Proverbs 27:17 talks about friends sharpening one another like iron. And 1 John 3:14, it says that if we walk in not loving one another, we walk in darkness. So if we find that we are struggling, we're confused within our own life, it often can be because we walk in darkness because of unforgiveness in our lives. In fact, in that same passage in 1 John, Jesus is actually pointing out that loving one another is loving him, because the first two commandments are one command. And so in 1 Corinthians 12:13, it talks about being baptized into one body. And being in one body but with different opinions can sometimes be difficult, especially if we're young in our sanctification process. We can feel like it's a spider and a scorpion in one jar. And it's important that we walk in how we can grow in compatibility with one another, in forgiveness towards one another. And that baptism is part of that growing process for us. And if we don't value God's people, it has a major effect on our ability to lead other people as well. And it's important that we grow in gentleness and kindness and the softer attributes like love, peace, patience, kindness, but then also to grow in strength and zeal, boldness, and the stronger attributes of that would represent God. It's important we grow in compatibility with different personalities, with different genders, different generations. You know, we can always tell from the people you avoid. If you avoid strong leaders or you avoid female leaders, it can often reveal to us areas of pain within our own life. And, you know, we can be, judgmental or critical or defensive or take offense to things. And those are very valuable things to take and to evangelize within our own life so we can overcome that. So why would this be important? It's important that we do this in order to grow in Christ-likeness. It's, as I mentioned before, it's important so that we can grow in leadership as well. And and just so that we work within on our specific weaknesses. Your relationships technically will become your warfare. And if love is the highest call, then if the highest call has the highest cost, but it has the greatest reward. So in order to grow in relationships, you need to up your threshold of pain, because we get hurt. People hurt us, and you can choose to get offended and hurt, and or you can choose to take offense, and it feels so good because you don't feel the pain, but then you walk in resentment and bitterness. But if you keep your heart tender, we often get hurt by one another, and we just need to run into relationships as opposed to away from relationships. So it's not easy, but there's such a reward because the highest call is to love one another. How do we do this as well? I mean, being married for me is really helpful. You know, if you want to go out and your spouse is saying, oh, I think you need a tic tac before you go out like that. You know, we never get those feedback from other people necessarily. So within the home, it's often very helpful for us. So if you have that opportunity, it's an amazing blessing in helping us grow in relationships as well. It's important to learn how to resolve conflict as well, and to so that we run towards one another and not away from one another, as I said. It's important to embrace diversity, practice how we can grow in listening to one another and real listening skills, and because it helps us that you don't react, you respond. And it comes from our ability to listen. That we grow in honoring one another. John 17, Jesus said, the honor you gave me, I gave it to them and to his disciples. So how do you give your honor away? Matthew 25, it talks about hospitality. You know, those who are in prison, those who are sick, those who are in need. And it's not talking about hanging out with only our cool friends. That is when we conform. We hang out with those we like. When we are transformed, we hang out with the people that God earmarks for us to give of ourselves to. And yeah, so I want to just bless you guys just in the journey of transformation of your own self and growing in compatibility with others and relationships. And what we often find to be amazing or a big challenge for us can become such an amazing blessing and enrichment through which we can also experience Jesus.